pockets of resistance all around the planet. We've been fighting a long time. If you're listening to this, you are not alone. You are the resistance.
The whole inauguration, all right, completely bogus, fake, generic, all right. Some people already noticed there was loops in the video and stuff.
Let's watch again. It's fake! Yo, what the fuck is going on? I thought this shit was supposed to be live.
Pre-recorded, right? All right. If you watch, they had the whole the Bible that they were using and stuff like that. Kamala, Biden, they didn't have their hand on the Bible. Okay. Now, whether it really matters, I don't know, because these people are satanic and evil anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I don't think they care whether they put their hand on the Bible or they put their hand on the back of a baby's ass. I don't know if it even matters. You know, they just doing whatever just to put on the show. Theatrics, okay? Yeah, that was all staged and pretty much null and void, okay? Let me explain to you why, guys. The Insurrection Act has been signed. Some speculate that it was signed on December 31st or in January, after, you know, the laptops and things were confiscated. Guys, I showed you the whole video on that. And by the way, just want to point this out. Even Rumble now, guys, have been removing some of my videos. Okay, so those videos to me, I think, have some very significant information in it, and it's the information, guys. Anything that they remove or suppress, guys, they don't want you to see or know about. That's why anything that you see on the news or the television, that's the bullshit. Okay, that's the bullshit. Anything you watch it on the news or television is the bullshit. Okay, so don't absorb that information. They remove videos, guys, on Rumble now as well. Okay, so YouTube and your Rumble, they right there together, removing shit. All right, now some people speculate why are they hammering you like this, and they not doing other people. They let other people talk and, you know, and viewership and everything, guys. It's a reason why they only let 250 people into my premieres and stuff now. You know, it's the reasons why they do this stuff, man. When you got somebody, and what I found that the most of my information, guys, that I bring to you is coming from low level sites that get very, very few views. So if you see a video that's very important information, it probably got like 70 views. All right, might got 150 views, or subscribers be like 1,000 subscribers. Why? Because they make sure that information doesn't get out. Okay, so when you get over the target, guys, that's when you're gonna see manipulation and stuff like that with your analytics and things like that. But that's not. I don't want to get off topic here. The point of the matter is that, okay, so the Insurrection Act have been signed. Okay, understand, you got to understand the tutelage or the verbiage in the Insurrection Act. You got to understand what it does. It gives power and authority to the military. Okay, and a lot of people make a lot of like, oh, Q is some BS, Q this, that, and other. Okay, I'm not gonna go into the whole Q thing. Okay, Q could be some BS. It might be. Okay, but that does not negate the fact that some of that stuff that's written in the Constitution and written in the bills and the executive orders does still apply, whether it goes through Q or it goes through E. It doesn't even matter. Okay, it still applies. With that, in the Insurrection Act, guys, it gives over power to the military and FEMA. Okay, now, why is this important? Because the military, understand this, the military wanted to bring down the deep state, guys, before Trump even went on this whole big mission to bring down the deep state. They wanted to bring down the deep state. They didn't even have to want to go through the whole legal process of doing this. The military wanted to go ahead and handle that back in 2016 when Trump was running. All right, but they wanted to go ahead and do it the legal way, so they put a little process in place to try and make this go a certain kind of way. All right, but okay, you understand that the whole goal was to bring them down at the end of the day. It was to bring them down, and if they had to use military force, they was going to do it. Okay, now you put this in perspective. Trump put two people in position with the military, all right, and then the Insurrection Act was basically signed. So the military has control. Now they have the authority to do what the hell they want to do. Okay, so everything you see now is just theatrics. Okay, so people talking about what you gonna do now. What you saying? Biden got sworn in. Sworn into what? Sworn into what? Okay, and that's another thing, man. See, we going deep. All right, so like I say, sworn into what? First off, the United States corporation is dead in the water. Okay, it's dead in the water. All right, it's been dead. I can't give you the exact date. I really can, but I don't feel like looking it up and everything right now. But understand it's dead in the water. Okay, the corporation has pretty much been dissolved. Biden has been sworn into nothing. Basically, there's a big nothing out there now for the corporation of the United States of America. No longer exists. Now, the critical thing, guys, some of you probably don't know that this ties in deeply with us being indentured servants and being property that's been sold on Wall Street. If you never went on this journey, guys, this gets deep, and a lot of you probably not gonna understand it. But anyway, everybody's been worth a certain amount of billions of dollars in some case, guys. And I actually did this research almost a decade ago. All right, looking into the value, okay, of the birth certificates of live birth, and your social security number. All that was given. Social security numbers didn't exist until I want to say it was the 70s. Okay, it wasn't until the 70s, but before that there was social security account numbers or something. Social security accounts. So basically, guys, the Social Security accounts and everything, guys, is basically was accounts. Okay, it was like we were backed by money. Our Social Security numbers was traded on the stock market, like on Wall Street. Like certain people and companies and things know this stuff. Okay, now this information has been hidden from the masses, from the general public, but this is 100% factual information. Okay, I actually took it upon myself and went and pulled, like some of you can do this. I think you can still do this. Okay, don't quote me because I did it and I had other people do it. You can go on like what's the website? Jeez, I can't think of the website right now. Dang. It's a certain website, guys, where you can go and actually punch in your Social Security number, like an account number, okay? And it will actually pull up how much money you were worth. Like, I kid you not, you could find out how much money you were worth. And I think I pulled mine up and it was like something like $3 billion or some shit. Like a crazy amount of numbers. And other people went there and they was finding out the same thing. So they trading your number on the stock market like you a stock, okay? Because of stuff that you do. It's something about how you accumulate value by your life's expectancy and the things you do, the jobs you hold. It's all like, it's crazy, guys. I know it sounds crazy, but it's 100% real, okay? And so, like, some people understood, like the Moors understood it. You can go like claim your certificate of live birth and everything, go through this whole little process. It's a long process, tedious process, guys. But at the end of the day, you basically buy your freedom, or you write yourself into freedom. Okay, this ties into the straw man and all this stuff. A lot of people have known about it. Well, Trump actually went after this stuff head on. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you kind of how this works. Okay, now if you go to court and things like that, you understand that you have like your name is presented on everything, even your bills. Look at your bills right now. Notice how your bills and your names are always in capital letters. Okay, it's all capital letters. Why is it capital letters? Because that represents you as a corporation. Okay, as property of a corporation, as a corporation doing business. Okay, that is how names are written when it's a corporation in business. They use all caps. Okay, United States of America has been a corporation. Okay, since like 1871. Okay, that's when this country was basically sold out, and everybody was sold into like slavery. Basically, you were sold into slavery. Like, yeah, there was black slaves, but guys, we all been slaves to a system. And some of y'all understood that. I've been saying that since I was young. I was like, man, we are slaves. We are slaves. I always felt like that. But it was 100% true. Okay, we were slaves. And guess who we were basically slaves to? To the central banks. Okay, to the central banks. The Queen of England, and you wonder why they so rich, guys. The 13 bloodlines and all that, and the money, the dollar system, man. I can go on and on. It ties back into the Illuminati and the Dracos and the dollar bills. Why it look like it do, the patterns, the shapes, and the pyramids and all.
Ah, the government. It loves you and wants to keep you safe and well. It even wants to make paying taxes, fines, and court costs easier for you. How? Well, you'll need to meet your straw man. He was born the same day you were. He looks like you, has the same name, and lives in your house, but you never knew he existed. You will have even paid his parking tickets or taxes. The worst part? He's been dead from day one. From every birth certificate, a legal personality, or legal fiction, is created with the same name to confuse little old you into thinking it's you. So there is a human you and a paper you, or as it's commonly known, a straw man. So when it seems like government officials, court clerks, or the police are speaking English, they aren't. They're speaking legalese, designed to make you agree to verbal and written contracts without even knowing about it, all spun from Black's Law Dictionary. For example, when the police say, "Do you understand?" you'll say, "Yes." What they are really saying is, "Do you stand under our authority?" Oops-a-daisy, you just created a verbal contract with them. Oh, you clever government. Did you know that whenever you register something, you are handing over title to the person you register it with? That's right. Whenever you register something with the government, they assume it belongs to them. Registered your car? Super! Now you are the registered keeper of your vehicle, and the government can crush it when you don't pay your, straw man's taxes. Expecting a new bundle of joy? Well, then you need to register your little darling with a birth certificate. Then they can start the process all over again and create a new straw man for your little one. Isn't that great? So when Junior grows up, he'll be able to generate revenue just like you have. When you notify on your baby by signing the birth certificate, your child becomes a ward of state. And if the government doesn't like what you're doing, they'll assume it's okay to take the child away or make new rules for things they don't like. Not enough school? Smacking your child? Shouting too loudly? Then it's off to social services for the little one. When you get a bill, it's sent to you, but belongs to your straw man, not you. That's why bills, fines, and summons start with Mr., Mrs., or Ms. Sometimes you'll see your surname in capitals, just like on a gravestone. That's because your straw man is dead, and just a silly piece of paper, created before you could comprehend or even consent to it. When you go to court, you represent your straw man, so you, the human, take on any costs, fees, taxes, and fines involved for the straw man. The human you doesn't even need to pay them. But you made a contract with the court by appearing on behalf of your legal personality or straw man, just like the government knew you would. Confused? Well, don't worry. The government doesn't want you to know anyway. If you knew, you'd stop paying things like council tax and parking tickets. Because when you go to court, you are representing your straw man. You are you, alive and made of flesh and blood. Your straw man, or legal personality, is a piece of paper created from your birth certificate. And you think it's you. What a silly Billy. Would you like to know more? Well, then go over to tpuc.org. Get up, get informed, and get real.
Guys, this stuff gets deep, man. It gets so deep. I can't explain all of this right now in this one video. This will take hours and hours. You have to go back to some of my other videos to really get a strong hold on the information. But to put things in perspective, let me just get to the cut to the chase, okay? To put things in perspective, the queen was like the queen, the real queen, like in the movies. Like, and we were basically peasants. We are peasants to them. You know, they are the free living people, and we are basically slaves to work in a system and generate money and taxes. Taxes was basically going into the Queen of England and the 13 Bloodlines' personal piggy bank. That's all it's been doing, guys. When you pay, the IRS was completely fraudulent, illegal, private company, basically. They work for the central banks and the deep state and everything else, and they fund everything, and they got quadruples of trillions of billions of billions of dollars off the backs of slaves. Us. The slaves. Yes, you're a slave, whether you knew it or not. All right? So anyway, as of, I want to say February 2019, President Trump basically released everybody. All right? And everybody's like, oh, y'all trying to make it seem like Trump's a savior, blah, blah, blah. What other president has done this? Okay? Now,
a night of pomp and pageantry as the President and First Lady Melania are honored at a state dinner in Buckingham Palace.
Mr. President, I'm delighted to welcome you and Mrs. Trump to Buckingham Palace this evening.
Melania was elegant in a sleeveless white silk Dior couture gown and long gloves. First daughter Ivanka wore a blue floral dress. And there's Princess Kate. The main course consisted of steamed filet of halibut, asparagus spears, and saddle of new season Windsor lamb. The Trumps' first day in London started with an official royal welcome. But no bow from the president, no curtsy from Melania. As Americans, they don't have to. And was that a fist bump? Nope. Turns out it was just an awkward handshake. So, what did the Queen say to the president? I asked Inside Edition lip reader Larry Wenig.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, so you're here.
Well, so you're here. The president was invited to inspect the Queen's Guard and chatted with the soldiers. What does he say to the soldiers here?
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Very good.
Very good.
This is the show, huh?
This is the show, huh? He's in a good mood. The president is already causing an uproar as a feud erupts with the mayor of London, who is calling him a global threat. The mayor has given anti-Trump protesters permission to fly that baby Trump blimp during the visit and hang banners on London's bridges. Trump is firing back, calling the mayor a stone-cold loser.
Queen Elizabeth II escapes to Windsor Castle as the first royal tests positive for COVID-19. Her Majesty has left Buckingham Palace a full week earlier than expected in an apparent response to the coronavirus pandemic. In a statement, the Queen notes the importance of changing our daily routines in order to protect the most vulnerable. Quote, as Philip and I arrive at Windsor today, we know many individuals and families across the United Kingdom and around the world are entering a period of great concern and uncertainty. We are all being advised to change our normal routines and regular patterns of life for the greater good of the communities we live in and in particular to protect the most vulnerable within them. She also thanks the scientists, medical practitioners, and emergency and public services for their efforts. Her message concludes, many of us will need to find new ways of staying in touch with each other and making sure that loved ones are safe. I am certain that we are up to the challenge. You can be assured that my family and I stand ready to play our part. The Queen's quarantine move coincides with reports that Prince Albert II of Monaco has become the first world leader to officially contract the virus, at least publicly. Monaco's head of state is currently conducting his leadership duties from home while being cared for by doctors from Princess Grace Hospital, named after his mother, Grace Kelly. The Queen is expected to stay in Windsor with her husband throughout the Easter season. Additionally, royal Easter services and subsequent garden parties scheduled to be held at Buckingham Palace have been postponed until 2021, if not canceled altogether. The royal household hasn't outright blamed the coronavirus for the cancellations, but the changes noticeably come just a day after Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's statement to the people. With that said, Queen Elizabeth will still go ahead with planned meetings with Prime Minister Boris Johnson.
Sherry Peel Jackson. She is an ex-IRS agent, CPA, fraud examiner. She was working for the IRS. She was on the fast track to success there. She was doing very well, had received numerous awards for all of the work she did, and she realized that there is no law and that the biggest fraud was the IRS.
I tried to be the best at whatever I did. So when I got to the IRS, I hit the ground running. My first year in 1988, I got the Fraud Award. It's a big Shaped in Georgia award for fraud. But I got numerous awards, and my biggest one is from the IRS commissioner himself back in 1995. It was Fred T. Goldberg. One of the things that I wanted to tip you off on as far as what the IRS does before I get into the story, they have, well they had, I don't know what they're doing now, but they had what's called a Market Segment Specialization Program, or MSSP. They would take different market segments, like ministers, and try to figure out how much money you were underreporting. Let's take beauticians, for example. I'm going to audit her beauty shop. She owns the shop and she has some people working there. Based on the assumption that the IRS has that people don't report all of their money, but they like to put all their expenses on there. So granted, all her expenses are on the tax return, and I figure out how many bottles of this and that she bought, I can calculate a dollar figure. So I'll tell Sophia, after it's all over and we're buddy-buddy, I just shock her and I say, well, guess what? It looks like, based on my calculations, that you really brought in $80,000, but you have $50 on the tax return. So here, you owe the IRS back $30,000. What would she do? She would sign off on it. I only had 2 cases in 7.5 years where somebody actually bucked at me. People are so afraid. The government and the media have gotten you guys so afraid of the IRS that you don't even buck them. Now, mind you, she might have left some money off. Maybe there was several times where she just didn't report the cash. And maybe that's why. Maybe she has no idea how much she quote-unquote underreported. Maybe that was it. But they always acquiesce. They got one, anybody own a laundromat, they have one that will calculate, based on your water bill, How many loads were washed at your laundromat? And the point to all of this is what they do to people, and people just acquiesce to it. When I quit the IRS in 1995, and after maybe a year of being Jim Cleaver and realizing that that was just not me, I hung my shingle, which in accounting terms or business terms is you start your own business. Now, you know that picture of Uncle Sam, the one that says Uncle Sam wants you? I used that same picture and I had it really big and I says, Uncle Sam wants your money, but I'm a former IRS agent. I'm going to show you how to get it back. You know, the people came running. And then these people start coming to me saying, I keep hearing that we're not supposed to pay tax. Or I keep hearing that the tax law is a fraud. And like I said, I was raised differently. I never would look at that person and say, you're a cuckoo. I wouldn't even think it. It was like, okay, you know, in this back burner back here, I would think to myself, okay, there's some people out there that actually think that the income tax doesn't apply to us, or it's a fraud, or it's being misapplied. But I didn't do anything about it because, remember, I'm rolling around with my little businesses and whatnot. So one night maybe in early June, one of my pastor clients called. It was night. It was about 9 o'clock at night. And she said, you know what? I think it was maybe a Wednesday night, after her Wednesday night service. She said, I've got this parishioner that just keeps bugging me about this income tax. She's talking about that we're not liable for the income tax, and she wants to talk to you. Can I give this lady your telephone number? And I said, okay. So maybe about 10 minutes later, this lady called me. She said, I have a question for you. Are we supposed to pay income tax or not? And I said, okay. Do you want the cuffed answer or do you want the real answer? She said, I want the real answer. I said, well, I really don't know. You know, even though I'm a former IRS agent, I haven't done the research, but I hear that there's a credible body of evidence out there that says that we don't owe the income tax. I was okay. I mean, I took the information. I was sitting there listening like, okay. And, you know, I said, okay, this lady had a lot of information. I don't know where she got it from. So a few weeks later, she called me again and she said, Miss Jackson, remember that information I told you on the phone? It's in the USA Today. Pull it up on the internet. Okay, so I got the USA Today. It was July 7th, 2000. And it says, Dear we the people, most citizens are not required to file an income tax return. The 16th Amendment to the Constitution is a fraud. And if you file, you waive your Fifth Amendment rights. I said, okay, that's some of the stuff she was saying. Now, this is a lot of reading. But I kept reading because I was very interested, you know, being a CPA and into fraud and all that. I wanted to see what was going on. So here in the third column, it says, no one has been able to collect the $50,000 reward offered by Bill Conklin to anyone that can identify the section of the Internal Revenue Code that makes a typical worker liable for the income tax. I'm serious about winning the $50,000. Okay, so it's at my desk. Basically, I just shoved everything off my desk and got the codes out, the regulations out, the tax guide I got on the internet to look at the Cornell University site, all these different things, and I started researching. And 2 weeks later, I said to myself, oh my goodness, we have a problem here. It doesn't look like I'm going to win this money. And I was sitting there at my desk thinking, this thing is a fraud. 2 weeks it took me to sit there and realize that. I didn't just look at the positive, I looked at the negative, I looked at the IRS site. All these things are going on. This thing is a fraud. Being a CPA and a former IRS agent, I sat there at the desk, you know, I was by myself, and all these thoughts started going through my head. The first thought was, now I finally open up the codes and regulations. Because see, at the IRS, they trained us with these little guides. We didn't use the codes and regulations. We would get one of these, and you would have to read it, understand it, and pass this little test. And all these little guides that I got, I read them, and I made A's on all my tests. And I thought, and I guess the rest of the agents in training thought, that the information that was in here was the same that was in those thick codes and regulations. But it's not necessarily the same. The things that are in these training manuals are not necessarily the same thing as in the codes and regulations. I learned that in my studying. In the time that I was doing the research, I also learned about the Pocket Commission. And I'm going to let this go around the room, but y'all got to get it back. This is the outside that I purchased of the Pocket Commission that I had. And before I left, I had the sense of mind to make a copy. This is the little badge I used to flip out at people and say, give me your books and records. Give me your bank statements. Give me all your credit cards, you know. And, you know, people, okay, here. You know, even the counties, I go to the county, do it. I go just about anywhere and flip this little thing out and get whatever I want. You know, there's a lot of power nuts out there doing that, guys. Y'all know it. Half of you already know about it. There's an enforcement pocket commission, and there's a non-enforcement pocket commission. And I started looking back at this thing. It has SER, Southeast Region. First of all, I'll read it. It has my picture up here, and it says, Sherry Jackson, whose signature and picture appear above, is duly commissioned as Internal Revenue Agent and has authority to perform all duties conferred upon such officers under all laws and regulations administered by the Internal Revenue Service, including the authority to investigate and require and receive information as to all matters relating to such laws and regulations. And it has SER and some other numbers and an A. And based on this Internal Revenue Manual, A means administrative. So I'm an administrative clerk out there on the front lines. And I'm an administrative clerk with a non-enforcement pocket commission. Okay, so I'm starting to get angry here. Starting to think about I had to take bribes and get little tape recorders taped to my body and the little microphones on me and go in and take bribes from people. But, thinking about stuff like that, what they got me out here, I'm thinking I really have authority. And this is administrative, non-enforcement pocket commission. That was one of the other things I thought about. And then I thought about, and I found out, this is another issue, a levy versus a notice of levy. This is something that I didn't deal with a lot because I was an agent and I just assessed the tax. I wasn't a tax collector. I just assessed it. So this is a notice of levy. And someone said, hey, this is a notice of levy. This is what the banks get or your job or whatever. They said, look at the back of it. So I'm looking at the back of this notice of levy and it says, Section 6331, levy and distraint. And then it says B and C. And I'm thinking, it starts off with B? What happened to A? So I looked up A. And here's A. And it says, levy may be made upon the accrued salary or wages of any officer, employee, or elected official of the United States, the District of Columbia, or any agency or instrumentality of the United States or the District of Columbia by serving a notice of levy. I'm thinking, but that's not most people. That's not the person that works at AT&T or Bell South or Coca-Cola. That's not most people. Aren't people noticing that the A isn't on here? Aren't they curious about it? Why are they doing this? All this is going through my head during this period of time, then I'm realizing that there's a rat in the camp. That's what I call it. But this is the straw that broke the camel's back. The Federal Reserve is not federal. How many of you did not know before today that the Federal Reserve isn't federal? If you didn't, don't be shy. If you didn't know before today that the Federal Reserve isn't federal, raise your hand. Most people don't know that. 9 out of 10 people that I asked off the street don't understand that the Federal Reserve is a non-auditable private banking cartel. They are collecting 30...
Hello, everyone. Today's recording date is January 15th, 2021. This is another Hold the Line video. I'm going to read something to you off my screen, and I think you're going to like it. So hang on to your hats. Here we go. A peaceful transition is coming. Trump will not be sworn in as the 45th President of the United States on January 20th. Trump will take office as the 19th President of the United States on March 4th under the restored republic. Let me explain. You believe you live in a nation called United States of America. This nation hasn't existed since 1871, when this country ceased to be a nation and became a corporation belonging to the City of London. Every time you see an American flag with a gold fringe and gold tilt attached to it, it represents the corporation, not the country. This is the reason you can never make progress financially. This is why the law always seems to be against the average citizen, while the rich and the elite literally get away with murder and worse things. If Biden, Harris, Pence, Pelosi, etc. are arrested for their crimes before January 20th, there will be no one to assume the presidency. Since Trump has not been certified as the presidential winner by Congress, he cannot remain president. If there is no president on January 20th, the corporation known as the United States of America will be dissolved. The military will then become the guardians of the nation during the transition. People will then have irrefutable proof that the election was stolen by foreign entities and that Trump was chosen by a landslide. Trump then assumes the presidency as the 19th President of the United States. The last president elected before America became a corporation was Ulysses S. Grant. Republic restored. Now, I really don't know all the details involved in this. Just know the end goal has always been the destruction of the 1871 corporation and the return of America to the people of the constitutional republic it was always intended to be. The next month and a half will be chaotic. Make sure you have plenty of water, food, your meds, anything else you need. Comply with the National Guard and United States Marine Corps. They took oath to the nation, not the corporation. The Act of 1871. Be vigilant. Pray. Your nation has returned to you. I just want to say I'm Canadian, and I could not be more proud of all of you and everything you're doing to literally save the world. You Americans, MAGA, you have shown everyone how to do it. You set an example and you lit the world on fire. You're salt of the earth, and I love you. God bless America.
Now, I'm going to get into some stuff here that's going to try to put things in more perspective. You got to follow me now. All right. NESARA and GESARA. Okay, look that up if you haven't heard. If you have been watching my videos, you notice I put that in some videos as of recently. NESARA and just GESARA. A economic plan of some sorts, okay? Basically freeing people and giving financial security, in a sense, to everybody. All right? And
what's up, everybody? I want to make a quick announcement here. The President of the United States, Donald Trump, has announced NESARA GESARA. I'm so excited. I am so pumped up right now. I'm doing dances. I'm doing backflips. Well, maybe not backflips. But I'm really, really excited about this. A lot of us have been waiting for so long for this day to come, and it's finally here. Trump is taking back the masses. He is beating the deep state. He is making sure that the American people are being taken care of. And I'm just really excited about this now. Now the real timetable begins on NESARA GESARA. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to link a video below of this announcement. Now keep in mind, he's not going to say NESARA GESARA. The way he words this, it's written all over it. So take a look at the link below, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks. Bye.
So I don't know the exact terminology of it, but GESARA and NESARA, they basically work hand to hand. All right. And either way, okay, as of February, the Queen of England, she's been removed. Okay. She's no longer the queen. Okay. We have a new king that's basically been put in place there. Okay. And this coincides with the NESARA and GESARA. Okay. As of this point, as of that happening, okay, it also freed us from the Social Security and being tied to the IRS and being used like slaves or servants. Okay, our names and our numbers are no longer able to be utilized in the way that they were. Okay, so basically we've been freed to that point. Now NESARA and GESARA is being enacted, and it's a lot of information pertaining to that. I'm not gonna go over all that stuff, man. Y'all have to actually watch the video. I'm gonna try to put a piece in here so that it can kind of put people on point with NESARA and GESARA, because that's a lot of information that I just can't explain. I can't explain all that right now. I'm not gonna do it. But basically, as of I want to say December. No. Wait a minute. Maybe December of last year. Okay, December 2020. NESARA and GESARA has basically been enacted. Okay, so on January 27th, which will be approximately like 30 days from the time that it was enacted, which is basically going to give us this freedom to relieve the debt and everything, and basically start giving us money that's owed us, relieving the interest and all this fraudulent loans and stuff, all the IRS collecting all this money off us and everything else, all that stuff is going to be eliminated. All right, that's the good thing. All right, so by this, and this ties into the election and everything. So basically, the U.S. Trump could not go back in as the president of the U.S. corporation because the U.S. corporation is dead. That's what people don't understand. That's the beautiful thing here. Okay, the U.S. corporation is dead. So what do we have to go to? We go back to the United States of America, okay, as it was by the founding fathers before everything occurred in 1871 that pushed us into this, basically, this economic slavery that we've been under, okay? Now, with that, Trump could not go back in and be the president of the United States of America Corporation. Okay, so what he is now going to become, and this is going to occur between now and I'll say it's going to be March 4th. I believe the date is March 4th. Okay, the original inauguration day of the president of the United States of America, not the corporation, was March 4th. Okay, so he will be the president of the Republic, the United States of America of the Republic. Okay, and that will occur on March 4th. With that, guys, he will be the 19th president. Okay, the 19th president. So Joe Biden is now the president of a company that no longer exists. What is that? What kind of power does a company have, or a president have, of a company that does not exist? You see what I'm saying? So people making a big deal about, oh, Biden's been sworn in. Sworn into what? He's sworn into what? It doesn't even exist anymore, okay? And all this stuff is going to come to fruition, and you're going to see in the coming months, in the next month or two, you're going to see how all of this affects us. And it's going to be a good thing, guys. A lot of stuff that's going to go on with the NESARA and the GESARA, okay? And a lot of people know this. So it's a lot of information about this, guys. Like I said, the whole straw man and all that stuff, the going to court and things like that, and proving that you're sovereign. Like, people have been able to do that before because they went through the whole rigmarole of doing the paperwork and everything. Everybody ain't got the wherewithal. It's a long, tedious process. Trust me, I started to do it. But a lot of people know about it, guys. This is basically freeing everybody, okay? And it's also going to put money in the hands of everybody. So we will see a economic recovery like never before, because a lot of people are going to be in a very good position with the monies and stuff that they're going to receive, with the debt that's going to be relieved, like education and stuff, loans and school loans and stuff like that, mortgages and all kind of stuff, man. And that's why you start to hear talks about this stuff, and they're like the Democrats or demon rats, they have tried to kind of manipulate it and use it and try to make it seem like they're actually doing some good for us. They're not. They're not doing good. They're trying to keep us in the slave system, but it's too late. It's already done. This stuff is all going to be shown and proven. How it's going to come out, that's a good question. Okay, but I believe in the coming weeks, man, that there's going to be some type of transition that's going to take place that's going to put all this stuff in the forefront. Okay, I hope this video sheds some light on some things for some people, man. I know I kind of rambled, and I probably didn't put this together and put this out to be easily comprehended. I apologize for that, man. There's a lot more to it, and I probably will make another video to kind of put y'all on point. But as far as right now, my channel, this channel is open again. My other channel is still blocked. So once that other channel opens up, which will be a couple more days, I'll probably put out some more information, man. I just wanted to get something out to you because I know people have been starving for information. There's not a lot out there. People are like, what the heck is going on? Stay calm, remain calm, people. Everything is going in the right direction, okay? Outside of the whole vaccine and testing stuff, man, things are going in the right direction, okay? And then just to kind of hit on this, because I know people are asking too, and they going to keep saying this, and this is something I've been pointing out to. Everybody like, well, Trump just said warp speed and the vaccinate everybody. Guys, I can't keep reiterating this, okay? Just going to say this because I feel like this is necessary to kind of introduce you to how this is going on, Okay, Trump was trying to give everybody other alternative cures and options. The media, the mainstream media, demonized all that stuff. Do you understand? They did this intentionally, guys, to keep you guys from getting that stuff so that you would do what? Get vaccinated and get tested. Remember when Trump said, no, I'm not going to force 333 million people to get tested. Why? Because he knew the plans. He knew the plans. The 200 generals, they knew the plans. Okay? That's why you know this stuff is still going on, because the generals ain't gone, guys. There's military guys that's still out there that's going to do what's right for this country. The Insurrection Act has been signed. They just letting stuff play out right now, and they going to swoop. And when they swoop, they going to swoop hard like an eagle. Like the eagle to represent the United States of America. They going to swoop on them. They going to get snatched up. All right? But anyway, guys, like I said, Trump was trying to put out the other options, the other cures and stuff. There's plenty of information out there about it. Yeah, he said warp speed, but at the end of the day, that vaccine wasn't coming out until after they got their hands on the election with the fraud. Then they start pushing it in the warp speed, okay? Then it was like, oh, you got to get the... But remember when Trump was going to put it out, it was like, oh, well, you guys got to get a double dose. Because Trump was going to put out something else, guys. He wasn't going to get them what they wanted. That's why they had to get them out the way. That's why it's been a push to do that. Trump could never come on the media and say, hey, guys, they trying to poison you with the vaccine. No, what he came on the media and said, guys, look, I took this. Okay, I want everybody to take what the president took. You don't have to take the vaccine. He wasn't saying that for nothing, guys. Okay? If he wanted to put that vaccine out, it was ready. How come it all of a sudden was ready as soon as they figured that Biden won the election? Okay? Just like now, and this goes deeper, and I don't know. I don't want to get into all this because we're going in a different direction. But if you notice, since Biden's been sworn in, all this stuff, you got all these governors and stuff coming out talking about, oh, we can open up the country and stuff again. Oh, we can do this and that. Guys, it's something, either one or two things going on. Either Trump and the Patriots have taken these folks out and they have been replaced with clones and doubles and things like that. And so now they're pushing the same tune that Trump was pushing, and they're not going to be transparent in how this whole takedown went down. Or else they was just doing this to get Biden in, which they were doing it initially, I believe anyway. But now that they feel that they got it, they're going to try to open up the economy and act like everything cool. But they still going to push their deadly vaccines and things in. Like, we in a war, guys. Biochemical warfare, biological warfare. That's factual information at this point. And it's been pushed on us from evil people within our own government. All right? And that's as far I'm going to go, like I said, guys, because it's a lot of information. You know, I feel like I rambled on this video because I jammed a lot. It's all over the place. Hopefully y'all, like-minded people can gather the information, put it all together. I'm sorry I was gone away so long, man, but hey, I had no control over that. They blocked me for a reason. I mean, they hit both my channels for two different reasons at the same time. Like, they wanted me silenced for right now. They didn't want me to be able to talk. All right. But either way, guys, I appreciate everybody that's been showing me support, man. I got people working in the background that's done some good things for me. I appreciate you guys, man, looking out. Those that have been supporting, whether sharing information, share the information. I really appreciate that, guys, helping get the information out, because I feel like, man, with me, this is how I feel. I might be one person, but I can, with the knowledge and information I have, I feel like I have been able to reach millions. And I know that by looking at my old analytics before they really came and got to me. Okay, I would reach about 2 million people every month. And that was when my subscriber count was low. So when it got high, it was reaching more than that. Okay, then they came through and they swooped and shut down. But I reached enough people to get the message out. And some people know, hey, don't do this, don't do that. Hey, they try and do this. Some people know that. Okay, that's when I became a threat. All right, so if I'm reaching this many people, man, you can reach as many people too. Just by sharing the information, getting it out there to people, waking people up. Man, I've had people come to me and say, hey, you woke up my family members. I don't know how you did it. But the way you put stuff together in an eloquent way, which I try hard to do, man, to make sure that it reaches the people it needs to reach and gets through to them by them seeing it, by visual aid. Okay, so share the information, man. I've saved millions of people. I know some of you have saved millions of people. You just don't know it. you folks that have supported me in the way that you have, whether sharing the information or donating to the movement, donating to the channel, guys. You have helped a lot, and I thank you guys greatly because, like I said, at one point, YouTube did have us monetize truthers and stuff as well. So it was easier to do this and be able to be compensated for all the time and energy that you put into it. But they removed that, okay, to make it less likely for us to do it. But I've still been doing it. You know, other truthers still been doing it. You know, we get support from the community. All right, you guys support me, I support you, and you help get the information out and wake up others. So it's been a working relationship either way. But either way, guys, like I said, I do appreciate everybody that's helped in any kind of way that they have. I've had some people, some good folks in my corner. But either way, guys, if you want to donate, I will put the link in the description box, and also it'll probably be on the screen as well. So I appreciate the support. Just make sure y'all stay in tune, man. I'm going to drop another video within the next couple days here. But yeah, I'm going to have to get another site as well because, like I said, Rumble removing stuff too, which is crazy, man. That's crazy. Either way, guys, hopefully y'all safe, man. Take care of yourselves. Look out, and I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.
There are pockets of resistance all around the planet. We've been fighting a long time. If you're listening to this, you are not alone. You are the resistance.